This is relaxing. Hey guys, welcome back. Jordan here with the Nutty Gnome Homestead. Today is December 28th, 2023, and as you can see, we got a little bit of snow. So this time of year, there's really not that much going on here on the homestead. We make sure our animals have plenty of feed, plenty of fresh water and hay, but there's not too much that we can actually do. Weather's bad, it's been raining, it's just that time of year. So we like to use this time to do maintenance on equipment, on our barns, on our feeders and waterers, and try to make sure everything is up to par for whenever it's time for all of our new animals to come in the spring. So I believe today we're actually going to be working on an automatic feeder for our chickens. While I like making these, they last a long time. They can hold about 100 pounds of feed, which makes, feeding a lot easier. If I've only got to put feed in it once every 2 weeks or so, that's an extra 5 minutes a day that I can work on something else. So I'm going to bring you guys along, and we are going to build an automatic feeder today on this beautiful snowy December afternoon. Hey folks, y'all ever get tired of feeding chickens 2 or 3 times a day? Or like in our case, you have about 100 chickens and you want something that'll hold more than 7, 10, 20 pounds of feed, make it a little easier on you? Well, here's something that we've come up with that works pretty good. It'll hold about 100 pounds of feed. I made 2 of these for my 100 chickens, and they last a couple weeks. So let's take a look. What I've got here is a 30-gallon Rubbermaid tote. It's nothing special. I like the clear so I can look in and see how much feed I got. And what you do is you'll take a hole saw. I like 3.5 inch because it makes my life a little easier. Don't have to do so much sanding. Connect it up to your drill. And then if you can see in here, I got me a board set down, a 1-inch board on the bottom and a 3/4 inch on top. Gives me just enough headspace that I can take a 90-degree elbow, PVC elbow. Cut one end off, make it nice and flush. I'll take the end with the collar on it. I'll set it on top. I have these boards down here. I'll mark me the center of the hole. I'll take my hole saw and I'll drill out that hole. You can see I've already got one done over here. And I'll do this 6 or 8 times around on this tote. That'll give me 6 to 8 feeding ports where these chickens can come in, stick their head in that hole of this, and they'll get in here and eat the feed. Let me show you how this thing works. I'm trying to do this one-handed, folks, so bear with me. I'll put these in here, and then what'll happen is I will come back with a silicone caulk and caulk around it, and that'll create a nice watertight seal to where I can fill up this tote with 100 pounds of feed, toss it in with the chicken coop. I like to set it up on a couple cinder blocks so it's up off the ground, makes it a little harder for the mice to get into. And another advantage of this kind of feeder is you don't get as much waste. The chickens have a tendency, they'll shuck their head back and forth when they're feeding. And doing that, they'll throw out a bunch of waste. Well, that equals money. So I like to be as cost efficient as you possibly can on my homestead. So hang on a second, let me show you what I got going on. All right, folks. So I had to put the phone down for a second so I could show you all how I do this. It was a little difficult getting this in there with one hand. So if you see, I've got the collar of this PVC, 3-inch PVC, up against this tote. And you can see how much space there is underneath here to the bottom of the tote. I guess I probably could get a tape measure and show y'all exactly how much there is there. I don't know if you can see that. There's about 4 inches. A chicken will be able to stick his head in there that far. That's no problem. And my ducks use these feeders too without a problem. I've got standard size pecans. I've also got a bunch of Polish ducks, blue Swedish. They use these feeders, no issue. I will put, like I said, 6 or 8 of these 90-degree elbows all around here, and you can see I've already started cutting out a couple of holes. Got most of them cut already. This tote will hold, like I said, 100 pounds of feed. It'll make my life a lot easier, make it a lot easier on my wife when I go back to work. Right now I'm on my vacation. So I make 2 or 3 of these. They will last several years. The last one I built last 3.5 years until I accidentally dropped a bag of feed on the side of it and broke it. So they'll last a good while. Fill it up. I free range my chickens. Like I said, I've got about 100 chickens. I free range my chickens every day from about 6 in the morning till about 8 o'clock at night, 7, 8 o'clock at night, depending on time of year. This will last a week, 10 days, maybe a little longer in the winter. In the summer, I can get 2 weeks out of these quite easy because they're free range and they got plenty enough to eat. So that was just a little quick show and tell on how I make my feeders. I've been making them like this for years. Makes my life a lot easier. I try to automate as much as I can with automatic waters, automatic feeders. Put the lid on here when you're done. It's watertight from the top. I keep all my feeders under cover anyway. That way so no rain or anything's going to get into it. It's all about trying to save money, save feed. I've got $20 in this whole feeder total, and it'll last me 3-4 years, probably longer if I don't drop another bag of feed on it. One more thing I want to tell y'all: when you get these 90-degree PVC elbows, what you are going to find is they've got this collar, a collar like this, on both ends. I just put this on my miter saw, chop that off, so I've only got a collar on one side. And let me get a tape measure and I'll show you exactly how wide these are. I don't know if you can read that or not, but it's a 4-inch pipe. Like the collar, whenever you cut the collar off, it's just short of 3.5 inches. Now, one more thing you're going to want to do to make your life a little easier. Here's another little pro tip. I learned this the hard way, folks. This PVC has these little nipples on it. Can you see that? It'll have 3 or 4 of them. There's another one. 3 or 4 of them. Folks, do yourself a favor. Take it over to the bandsaw, cut it off, put it on the belt sander, grind it off. Hit it with a file if you have to. That'll make your life a lot easier trying to push it in through these holes. It's like I said, it's a 3.5 inch hole saw that's a snug fit. Go slow when you push them in there. You don't want to crack your plastic. Go slow when you push them in there. They'll fit. When you're done, get all 6 or 8 of them, or however many you want to put in. I've seen the smaller totes done with 4. Put you a bead of caulking around it. Give your caulking time to cure. Follow the instructions on whatever brand you use. It don't matter. Let it have plenty of time to cure. That was so the chickens aren't trying to peck at it while it's still wet. After it cures, put your feed in it. Like I said, my totes hold 100 pounds of feed. So that's it. It was just a little quick tip on how I feed my chickens effectively with a very minimal waste. So until next time, y'all stay safe. God bless.